Hello, and welcome to this special Christmas episode of Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 22 of Chobits. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. Alright, so last we left off, hopefully Hideki and Chi were smart enough to learn a lesson from someone else's mistake, because there was this little hacking incident whereby a Persica might have lost its memory, and, you know, Hideki sort of had to establish with Chi that, like, memories are a very important thing, you know, you can't really replace them, so, you know, it's better, like, not to sacrifice yourself given the opportunity, unless it's like a really, really dire thing. But now, we're dealing with Yumi here, and, you know, Hideki does remember that she was in the park and seemed, like, upset about things. I guess the reason is not entirely clear, because, the pastry chef Hideki was searching for Chi with, like, he had that whole incident with his Persicom wife who ultimately kind of went kaput. Like, her memory went, but, you know, she had one little last burst of lucidity with which she saved him, but, like, for Yumi to be upset over that, like, that implies she's in some way involved, but we don't really know at this point. You know, I think I speculated at the time that, like, she herself might be a Persicom, but, like, I think I also sort of dismissed that as being, like, a little bit out of pocket, because, like, there isn't a whole lot of evidence for it, I suppose. She doesn't have any of, like, the telltale physical characteristics. Ooh. Alright, so she's using her money to buy food and cook and all that, and that's nice, but I feel like, you know, Hideki can't keep relying on this, and I feel like he would be the first to admit that. I mean, I guess he's not raising the issue since it was already sort of a big issue before. Ooh. So at this point, I feel like she is, like, well and truly self-aware, like, she understands what other people are doing and what their relationship to one another might be. Oh, okay. So she doesn't quite get it, I guess. I figured she would, like, glean the meaning behind that gesture and just sort of, like, start holding hands with Hideki. But, you know, now that he explains it, like, obviously she's just gonna go along with it, you know? Ooh. Yeah, so when Hideki explains it like that, like, it's over, man. Like, you better get ready to start holding hands. Ooh. Oh, I don't like that, how they get cut off by sheer circumstances. Like, that's a little unfortunate. And I guess what's also unfortunate is that Yumi was watching this, like, from her perspective, that's got to be a bit suspect, you know? Like, because, like, she's inquired on a couple occasions, like, you know, like, what do you think about persicons? Like, would you ever, you know, date one over a person or something like that? Oh. You know, I feel like this guy's having a bad day if he's dropping a bowl of batter like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's something... I don't want to say, like, there's something not above board here, but, like, there's definitely something else going on. Yeah, okay, it's clearly not my imagination here. Like, even Hideki notices that Mr. Ueda is not quite himself. So it's nice that Hideki's, like, offering to help, because, you know, Mr. Ueda, like, went way out of his way to try and help out, but, like... I don't know. Like, we don't know how long ago this guy lost his quote-unquote wife, you know? He might still be in mourning for all we know. Well, that's a real lame excuse that he's just like, oh, I'm a little awkward now and again. Although, seeing as how we cut to Yumi just sort of watching through the window, I feel like, she might be involved in some way. Wow. You know, Hideki, that might not be a commensurate response. Oh. Uh-oh. So, she put on an old maid's uniform that, you know, probably belonged to the guy's late wife, but I feel like, you know, just saying like, oh, that's the wrong outfit, you know. I mean, I'm worried she might have, like, the impulse to just, like, you know, take it off since it's the wrong clothing, but, you know. Ooh. So, okay, I know I said that, like, Yumi isn't this guy's wife or a persicom or related at all, but, like, it really seems like she is, you know. She notices the outfit, and that's seemingly enough to make her cry. And Mr. Ueda's, you know, I don't want to say displeased, but he's clearly, like, upset. Yeah, there's something going on here. We're not being told the full story. I'm thinking at some point they might have tried dating, but, like, it became clear that Yumi was... Well, I don't know. Because, like, I don't think Mr. Ueda would, like, try and use her as a replacement. I think it's more like she knows the guy's still mourning. Wow. You know, that just kind of came out of nowhere. Like... Oh. Ooh. Well, that's unfortunate that she put on the wrong dress in that instance, because, like... Boy. Yeah, you know, for someone who's already sort of discussed the idea that, like, she is insecure regarding persicoms and their position in society, like... Boy, howdy, this is a real kick in the teeth. And I feel like, you know, this could easily be explained by saying, like, look, she's a little bit ditzy, she put on the wrong uniform. But, man. So unfortunately, she doesn't quite grasp the entirety of the situation. Ah, man. So, unfortunately, I don't think there's a real easy solution to this sort of situation. Like, Hideki and Chi might be in a good position to act as an intermediary, but, like, boy, you have to operate delicately. So I can't help but assume that this voicemail Sumomo's getting is rather important in one way or another. Man, imagine having to applaud your little personal computer for, successfully recording a voicemail. Man, Hideki seems to have amassed a few of these persicums, and I feel like most of them are little more than trouble. And, this is the last thing Yumi wants to see, more persicums. That said, if you're truly threatened by, the little mobile models, that's grim, you've got bigger problems, I feel like, but even so, it's kind of unwelcome. So I guess Chi kind of understands that, goodbye is a painful thing, but I feel like, regardless of her innocence, the way she's just asking these probing questions is probably not good. Unfortunately, Hideki's not there to, rein her in a little bit. Ooh. Okay, so she did indeed wear that dress and help out, but there was some sort of acrimonious parting, I guess. Ooh. Yeah, you know what, maybe just confessing to the widower, oh, okay, I guess it worked out, seemingly. Alright, so what's the catch here? Because something clearly went wrong. I mean, surely he's not gonna, accidentally call her by his late wife's name, right? Oh. Okay, so Mr. Ueda is just being sensible. I'm quite a bit older than you. I'm a widower, you're a young girl with your whole life ahead of you, So I get the feeling that this is sort of like a miscommunication thing, where he was just being considerate, but... Oh. Okay, so she looked up who his wife was, and... Ooh, okay, so there's, a video file. Presumably this is the incident, right? Or... Oh, no, I think I know where this is going. I guess the point Yumi's trying to illustrate is that, the wife looked like her, and, she feels, kinda skeeved out about this whole thing. And, to be fair, that is something, And I guess she does have hang-ups on persicums, too. Oh, man, so it was news, oh, local man marries persicum, why would you do such a thing? I mean, I feel like making a spectacle out of your wedding like that's, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Wow. Those are some real tactless questions to ask a man at a funeral. Good lord, are you just gonna throw out the persicum now that it's been destroyed? Good lord, Oh man, I'm trying to contain it, but boy, I don't like journalists. So, Yumi's upset about not being able to measure up to the guy's late wife, but I feel like that she's a persicom is immaterial, you know? Like, this would be the case regardless of the identity of the wife. Like, I mean, I guess I can understand being upset about it. Like, it's quite natural, but I don't know. I feel like Yumi's getting ahead of herself, in a sense. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is something you can work past. Like, you have to realize if you're, dating a widow or a widower, like, the idea is you're never going to replace the late spouse, and like, you shouldn't want to either. Like, eventually the widow or widower should move on, but like, you can't in good conscience demand, like, that you entirely erase the past. Like, that's... Frankly, I think that's just unconscionable. So I guess, despite everything, she's asking the salient question, what do you actually want to do? And, surely the answer is not going to be, I want to wallow in self-pity. Ooh. So I guess the idea is that, like, persicoms do things perfectly, humans are imperfect, but, like, that's missing the point, Is like, if people were perfect, everything would kinda suck, it would be boring. Like, I don't know, not to be trite, but like, imperfections give character. And I feel like Yumi's worrying a whole lot about, like, not that much. Like, I feel like this is something that could be talked out. I think, really, Mr. Ueda could solve this whole thing, and it seems like he might be gearing up for that in light of Chi's questioning. Like, essentially, like, he just needs to tell her, like, look, I want to be with you. Let me be with you, in fact. And, like, that would do it. I pick you over another persicom, essentially. Yeah, okay, so Hideki's got the right approach here. Like, you can't compare people and persicoms. Like, even though the comparison's right there, they're both, humanoid and all that, like, they are fundamentally different creatures. Like, comparing them is a fool's errand. Wow. Okay, so Chi managed to, track Yumi down. Like, that's, that feels like a sort of impressive technical feat. But I guess the question now is, like, does everything work out? And I certainly hope that Mr. Ueda says the right things here to just resolve everything. I think a happy ending would certainly be preferable to a sad ending. Yeah, alright, there we go. Like, yeah, it's my fault. I should have explained things properly. Okay. Yeah, that's the right thing. Like, I like you for who you are, not what you are, Although I feel like he is sort of leaning on the persicom person distinction when that doesn't really matter. Although, He is saying, like, Persicoms can and can't do certain things, and the way Chi and Hideki are being framed in the same shot, like, I feel like this might affect them adversely. Because, I mean, like, what he's saying is true, but that advice doesn't necessarily apply to Chi either, given that she's sort of a unique case. Whoop. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. You know, it's, maybe not very tactful, but I suppose taking off the offending dress is probably the right thing to do. And, you know, I guess this really puts the title of the episode in context. Like, I guess I assumed something totally different based off the title, but yeah, you know, it's all coming together now. And I guess it's also interesting that she's witnessing this here, and like, man, that is a look of longing on her face. Like, if the hand-holding early in the episode wasn't enough, and like hand-holding again now, like, boy. So I guess the question is, like, does she know enough to sort of make the first move here? I feel like, oh no, I take it back, she went for it. Alright, there we go. I was gonna say, I feel like this is going to sort of come to a head where Hideki's gonna have to take some drastic action, but no, it seems like she just wants to hold hands. Ooh. Okay, so I guess, like, actual affection and love, like, prompts something in her programming. So I guess now these shady characters are gonna get involved now. So it's interesting, you know, Chi's decided on the one just for her to use their verbiage, and now they have to get involved. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. Merry Christmas, Space Cowboy.